Wow, this is a big story. Guys, Brock Lesnar could be back in WWE before SummerSlam.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
Yeah, that's the word here. Brock Lesnar is in play for this year's SummerSlam. What is up, everybody? I'm Kellam. This is your Sportskeeda top story of the day. If you haven't done it already, go ahead and hit the like button. Hit the like button up. It's got to go up. Yeah. And go ahead and give us a subscribe here on YouTube, on Facebook Watch. Make sure you turn those notifications on so you know exactly when we drop new videos on you all the time. We're doing these top story videos of the day right around 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern every day. And if you like this content as well, subscribe to our podcast and get it in your ears so you can freak out and yell to Stanford or Jacksonville or wherever you think there's a wrestling office that's supposed to listen to your ideas. Go ahead and let us know what you guys think of this. Brock Lesnar, one of the biggest names in professional wrestling, whether you like it or not, he is reportedly in play for this year's SummerSlam. Now, this year's SummerSlam is a big one. It is a big one because this will be another major event as WWE works its way out of the pandemic here. And it could see WWE potentially in Las Vegas, all right, the same night as a Manny Pacquiao fight. And this event could also be in a stadium. Now, this has been talked about for some time. We've been reporting on it, and this story is up now at Sportskeeda.com. This was originally broken by Wrestling Observer and Mattman Andrew Zarian. Great podcast if you've checked out his show. He is reporting, very viable source, that Brock Lesnar's return could take place at this year's SummerSlam. Zarian has also reported that WWE is in talks with John Cena, something we've been hearing rumblings about for quite some time, which would line up with John Cena putting out some movies. Now, Brock Lesnar is pretty interesting. Lesnar was early on for SummerSlam plans. They were trying to do something. I think the concept behind Lesnar is to justify what we're going to pay him. We need more consistent touring schedule so we can build to this, and those appearances by Lesnar will help sell tickets, obviously. Absolutely. Now, who could face Brock Lesnar? We get into that conversation. Obviously, I think the main person that everyone brings up here is someone from Brock Lesnar's past, who we've never seen him have a match with. Now, Brock Lesnar, obviously, see in that photo, you see him, and the article is there with one Paul Heyman. So some people jump to the conclusion maybe you do Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, but I think the bigger one would be Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. A lot of people have wanted that fight, and Bobby Lashley has said he wants that fight. Bobby Lashley, the reigning WWE champion on Monday Night Raw, he would love that. He would love to be on board with that. Sound off. Let me know what you think. Brock Lesnar back in the WWE for SummerSlam. Who do you want him to fight? You know, a lot of people want this Lesnar-Lashley fight. I think this is a big one here. We're going to go into depth into this coming up later tonight on Inside Cradle. That is our show. It's long form every single Thursday. And we go into deep stories. We go into the WWE releases. We go into that speculation. Is WWE for sale? Just speculation. Don't take that there. So a lot to talk about. Some people wanted to fight Shelton Benjamin. Sorry, I don't think Shelton Benjamin's going to get the spot. Brock Lesnar takes on only the big names. Right now, Bobby Lashley is a pretty big name who has a championship. But if you guys are one of the people watching live, you have not hit that like button yet. You're enjoying this content. You haven't just given us a simple thumbsy ups. All right. Maybe you want to say you're not happy about this. Give us a face or give us a happy face. Let us know what you think of this. Sound off here. Thomas Miller wants him to fight Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon, known for those big fights here. It'd be crazy if it wasn't Shane McMahon. I think Lashley Lesnar is the only viable option. I don't think he comes back to do anything less here. And it would be pretty crazy here. Jessica Hoffman asking this question. So here we go. Sorry, Jess. Asking about the WWE releases this week. We have extensive coverage of this right now at Sportskeeda.com. If you haven't done it already, go ahead and get our app, by the way. We have a great mobile app right now. And a lot of people saying, why is this happening? Is it because of a sale? Is it because of this? It was budget cuts. Maybe they feel they don't need as much of a road. That's the official word that was put out this week. And a text went out from John Laurinaitis, the head of talent relations to talent, about this was done because of this. Now, do I think that's happening because Brock Lesnar is coming back to the company? No. Money will always be there. A lot of money will always be there to be in the business of Brock Lesnar, and WWE will always want to be in the business of Brock Lesnar because guess what? Even if you don't like him, you want to see someone fight him. He is an otherworldly attraction. I have seen him live, some of the best wrestling matches I have ever seen live. Matches I paid to go see were with Brock Lesnar. And many of those matches, I was maybe even booing him. One of the loudest live reactions I have ever heard was him returning in Miami, Florida in 2012. What do you think? Brock Lesnar, Lashley, is that the match to do? Do you think there's a better match you'd like to see? I want to see it in the comments. Ryan is here. He says it's got to be Lesnar, Lashley. It has to be him. It has to be him. I don't know. Dawson is all about bring back Brock. Bring him back. You got to have Brock back in the mix here. He wants him back here. Timothy says, give me a triple threat. Give me Lashley. Give me Cena. Give me Brock. SummerSlam. Oh, you want to throw Roman in the mix there, Tim? Come on now, Timmy. That's crazy. Whew. Can we handle that heat? Is there a stadium big enough to handle all that? A lot of people with different talk here. David Brown wants to go. Just want to know in the comments. Just want to know if it's Raw or SmackDown. Are you asking if Brock is going to be a part of WWE Raw on Monday nights, or is he going to be a part of SmackDown on Friday nights? You know, it's interesting. Brock is a big name. I'd be surprised if he wasn't a part of SmackDown, since SmackDown is the number one wrestling show right now, number one by a considerable margin above Raw, above AEW. So it'd be interesting to see where he lands here. Get more of your comments here. Roman versus Cena, Brock versus Lashley, 2 main events. If that is the way it lines up for this year's SummerSlam, that's a big show. That's a really big show. And it's worth noting that this year's SummerSlam will be on a Saturday. It will not be on a Sunday night. And they'll want to have something that really catches your eye and makes you want to make a night out of it, even if you're just watching it at home. So a lot of people with different takes here. And let me know what you guys think in the comments below. They want Big Kev. Tommy B is with me all the time. Wants Big Kev versus the Beast. No, dude. No. Do not give them an idea. I don't want any of Brock Lesnar. I don't want it. I can't handle it. Do you guys think I could even breathe the same air as Brock Lesnar? No. Come on. I groan when I get out of this chair. Come on. You think I can take on Brock Lesnar? Don't put me in that position. It's ridiculous. Don't do that to me. Ryan said, maybe what about Lesnar Reigns? Here's the thing, so many Lesnar Reigns matches have been done. They've done it on WrestleMania twice. They've done it on, I think they did it on a SummerSlam, right? But this is a different Roman Reigns, head of the table. He's got Paul Heyman with him. That's an entertaining match. Justin isn't feeling it. He says, who cares? Who cares? I don't care about Brock. Who cares? I'm not into it. So if you're not into it, let us know if you're not into it here. Sound off. Get in the conversation and let us know here. People saying it's going to cost $20,000 for it. Mike Rainey here. I wouldn't be totally surprised if the end game is that Vince McMahon will decide to sell the company. Is WWE for sale? I'll get into the WWE for sale rumors, okay? Especially with all the recent releases that's been happening. The only question is what would happen to their Peacock deal should Vince decide to sell the company. I love how God, you guys know, you got to know my pet peeve here. My pet peeve is these WWE, I know what Vince is thinking a billionaire thing here. Let me pop that and say WWE is a lot bigger than just Vince McMahon. Obviously, he's the biggest mind involved in it, and that's just me following it and covering it. And this is WWE up for sale conversation has been brewing because of the releases this week. And say, are you releasing those people to prepare for a sale? So let's get into this speculation. We go very in depth into this in tonight's Inside Cradle for well over a little bit here. This all lines up for a lot of different reasons and why people are saying this. I'll lay it all out for you. Nick Khan is the new president of WWE. He was also recently promoted to their board of directors. He comes in with a lot of stroke in the show business world and has repositioned WWE for their Peacock deal, $1 billion deal. It's also believed that he was involved with the SmackDown deal, which was $1 billion deal. So there's 2 separate $1 billion television deals. And so is a position away from Peacock that gets him even closer in with NBC Universal. NBC Universal is one of the biggest media companies in the world. They're also involved with Comcast, which is one of the biggest cable television companies in the world. And as more and more companies pivot towards the streaming model, they want to shore up even wider libraries of content. Example of this is Disney. As Disney made the build towards Disney Plus, what were they doing? They were getting in Marvel as the whole universe of talent, a universe, Star Wars, an entire universe of stuff. We're going to bring that in. NBC Universal wants to bring in a universe. WWE is reported been looking at themselves, as they have, and may aggravate wrestling fans, is as not a wrestling company, as a media company with wrestling as the base for the stories that they do. And they have gone in that direction, making movies, doing all these other things. So what would bring that in is we're a universe. You're the WWE universe. We have a universe of characters. So we have a deep library. We're an IP. We could be your Marvel. Could WWE be NBC Universal's Marvel universe? It's an interesting scenario, and as to how they would play themselves in that. I don't know who's buying it. It isn't. There was a report out today that I'm not gonna refute the validity of it, but it was based on speculation, and we can talk about people speculating, but there's nothing I can tell you right now that says this is happening. Are there a lot of indications where that could be a possibility? Yeah, I could say that, but I want to talk to some real financial analysts who could tell me, like, yes, they're doing this for this reason. I don't want to talk about something without knowing, because a lot of people want to guess. You fans want to come in and guess and stuff like that, and that's why we're having this conversation. I'm not saying you're stupid or anything like that, or you don't know what you're talking about. Just there's more that we need to know for this. Paul saying, I really like Sportskeeda, hard work that you do all. Thank you so much. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for watching, Paul. I've seen you before too. Thank you guys for hanging in there. I love the diehards with us. If you're with us for the first time, I like knowing your names. I like seeing your comments. We're with you all the time. And if you haven't done it, if you guys are watching us on YouTube or Facebook, go check out our WWE releases video, which we did yesterday. A lot of people checked it out. We went in depth on it, and we'll have another video going even deeper into those releases and the wider impact of them tonight on the Inside Cradle. So, is WWE for sale? Officially, I can tell you no. There is no official indication from anyone with a super viable source that it is. Now, is there widespread speculation because of the releases this week? Oh, they're doing that to prepare for this. And then I said this, I heard this, and then it's a story, right? I need you guys to pull that back a little bit, because there's just so many people rushing to a conclusion. Rushing to a conclusion. There's been a lot of conclusions that we rush to in wrestling that never were fulfilled. But here we are. If WWE was to be, bought by a major company, it would be a major media company that could exploit their portfolio and really make something out of it. So what would you do with it? I enjoy this here. People saying Keeda Mania running wild. Keeda Mania running wild, brother. Yeah. All right. From Mumbai to Massachusetts, we're running wild. Paul says if WWE is bought, he would love this. I would love to see a WWE set up at Universal Studios. Paul, you and I are going to go. Paul Sherrick, you and I are going to go to WrestleMania Land at Universal Studios. Yeah, let's go, dude. I would love that. I would absolutely love it if there was a WWE theme park. Give me a place where there's always NXT. Oh, wait, that's in Orlando, isn't it? There's a Universal Studios in Orlando. Wouldn't that work out? Oh, give me a Hall of Fame. Give me a WWE Hall of Fame that I can go to. I will travel to that. I would love that. I'd be on board with that. Get involved with it. Yeah. Fan Sport says, I think Vince will sell to Tribune Media in a year or so. I would be very, very surprised if Tribune Media, which is based mostly in digital and print and some broadcast things, would go in that direction. I'm of the thought where I don't think maybe that's going to be in a position. Actually, Tribune Media may be up for sale sometime soon too. So a lot of people texting in here. We got people coming in from Wales, UK. Tony from Wrexham, North Wales. Big fan of your work. Thank you so much, Tony. Appreciate that. A lot of people checking out the show in the UK. Very thankful of you. My family from County Clare in Ireland. I got family in Blackrock. I got wrestling buddies. Shout out to the Ministry of Slam down in Bournemouth in the UK. Shout out to them. Some wrestling buddies over there. Amir Grimes says, I see a merger. Who are they merging with? We heard this talk about them in New Japan Pro Wrestling having some type of American partnership, but we haven't heard much rumblings on that this week. That was a big story last week, and then we had the releases this week. A lot of turbulent stuff here. Sound off. If you guys are watching on demand, I want to know what you think as well. I know you see me popping off in these on demand comments, but I'm going to be in the comments of this video after it's on demand. So I'm going to be down there with you talking. I, Kevin, with Sportskeeda. We are real people. Your voice matters. You're in the conversation with us. Let us know what you think. What do you think of Brock Lesnar possibly coming back to WWE? If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, let us know what you think. And remember, when watching wrestling, do the most important thing. Even with all the unfortunate news this week, you can still enjoy wrestling.